Hey guys! So today I'll be filming for you a dupe video. So I've done half of my face in Drugstore and half of my face in high-end makeup. So this was so highly requested, and I know that you guys would love to see some of the dupes for products that I use all the time. So I wish I could have found a better one for foundation, but like, disregard that. Yeah, I couldn't, nothing matches the NARS Luminous Weightless. It's just incredible. Anyways, back to the point. So if you guys want to see how to get this look, then keep on watching. Oh, and by the way, yes, I am wearing contacts. I don't know if you can see that, but they are like hazily green. It's not that obvious, but a big shout out to All for Eyes New Zealand and Fresh Look for sending me these. They sent me a set of green and a set of hazel, so I'm super impressed. I've worn both sets once, and they are the only coloured lenses that are one-day use. So they are around $29 for a set of 10, so you get 5 for each eye obviously. So I'll make sure to link them in the description so you can go have a look. I'll link to both of the websites and their Instagram. So yeah, just a bit of a shout out to them. This isn't sponsored, but I just wanted to say, you know, like, they're great, and hopefully I'll be able to do a tutorial soon to suit hazel or green eyes. Both of these look kind of green on me. So I'm going to start out with a primer. I have here Professional by Benefit and the L'Oreal Skin Perfection Magic Touch Instant Blur primers. Now I'm going to do the high-end side of my face on this side and then the Drugstore on this side. Now I believe that the Professional is $50. Now these are all going to be in Australian dollars, by the way, obviously because I live in Australia. And then the Skin Perfection is around 20, I think. But yeah, I honestly think that this one does such a better job, but with this I can safely apply it to the rest of my face without it being too thick, whereas this primer is very thick, but it fills in pores really well, and it's like keeps your makeup on all day. So just taking a little bit of the Professional on the right side of my face. Wow, it is so windy every time I try and film. And you only need a small bit of this primer, and that's why I like it more. I feel like you go through creamier primers a lot faster, but this one just does such a better job in my opinion. Like, I love the Professional, but this primer really is my ride or die. Okay, so I have two foundations here. I have the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation in the shade Golden Ivory. It looks like this. And then the other one, I have the YSL, please forgive me for absolutely mutilating the name, it's like Tishicla, I don't know, something fancy, and it is in the shade, oh, those are just a bunch of numbers, oh, I have no idea what the shade is. But they're very similar shades. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that. The Drugstore one is a tad bit lighter than this one, I find, but I obviously didn't want to go out and purchase the exact same one of these in like half a shade darker. So yeah, I am going to be using these two. I really wanted to try and find a dupe for my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless, but honestly there is really nothing like it. I bet there is, but I haven't found one yet. So I'm going to start applying on the Drugstore side with the True Match. I find that these foundations both have quite a natural coverage. It's really hard to apply foundation to just half of your nose. Then the YSL foundation. Yeah, this is more my colour right now, I think. The True Match I bought when I was quite fair. Obviously I'm still very fair, but just less snowy than usual. Okay, so the colour difference does, I'm not sure if it'll show for you, but slight difference. But what really is cool is that the texture and the consistency of these foundations is absolutely identical, but this foundation, the True Match, is $20 and this one is $89. So I know that you are paying for the brand name and the quality, and the YSL foundation is truly incredible. I've been using it every day since I rediscovered it in my collection, but it's just, these foundations are both really good, but honestly, if you're looking for an affordable dupe, the L'Oreal True Match is the way to go. Okay, now for concealer, I have here for the drugstore side the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Fair, and then I have the Naked Skin by Oma Decay Concealer in Fair Neutral. Now these do look very different. This one, it looks very pink in the tube, but once it goes onto your face it is quite yellow. And the Naked Skin is exactly what the name suggests. It's very neutral, and that's why I love it so much. An interesting fact, this concealer is $15 and this one is about $46, I believe. Now all of the prices for the high-end items are taken from either Mecca or Sephora. I'll make sure I link both websites down below if you do want to check some of these products out. And then the majority of the drugstore ones are sold in Priceline. I will also link their website down below. And then a few here and there are from, you know, like Target. To go in with the Maybelline concealer first. On a hot day, it is recommended to shake this. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. I can see it. I can see it. Okay. Luckily, I'm using a sponge to blend this out. Honestly, I think this concealer has better coverage than the Naked Skin, but I do still like the Naked Skin more in terms of the colour and the longevity of it. I'm going to go in with the Naked Skin. As you can see, it blends out a lot faster and it is a little more tacky, which is good in a sense of if you want it to really cling to the foundation, and then the powder that we put on top of it sticks a lot better. Okay, so setting powder for the eyes, I have here the RCMA translucent powder. When I purchased this, the no colour powder was out of stock, so I just settled for this one. I'm sure it's the exact same, but this is $18. I'm not sure where exactly you can get this from. I'm sure you could buy it off maybe Sephora or Mecca or something. Not 100% sure where it's from. And this powder I really love because it doesn't leave as much of a white cast as my other favourite, the Ben Nye one. That one does beat this one, but I'm not even sure if you can purchase the one I own anymore. So that's why I'm recommending this one in the video, obviously. But it sets it, it's not chalky, but the longevity of it compared to the Ben Nye powder is... the Ben Nye one is a lot more chalky, but it lasts forever. Like it really holds the concealer on there, so that's that one. And then this one here is the Youngblood Mineral Rice Setting Powder in the shade Light. Get this much okay, let me just compare this. You get 10 grams in this one, and then, wait, hang on, let me just compare this in ounces. You get 0.35 of an ounce in this one, and you get 3 ounces in this one. This one is $30 and the RCMA is $18, so that's a massive difference. But this one does have a slight yellow tint, which does help with redness, but I do find it very nice for setting underneath my eyes. Again, it holds all day, but it doesn't leave the same white cast as the RCMA. And now for the face setting powder, I have here the Rimmel Stay Matte and then the MAC Pressed Blotting Powder. Now I know I've never used this in a video before, but I found the colour payoff of these two is very similar. I just find that the Stay Matte is a little more powdery, so it doesn't last as long. I've had this blotting powder for a very long time. I know this one's around 15ish, I'm not for sure on these two. And then the blotting powder would probably be around 40, I'm guessing. So I'm going to go in with the Stay Matte first and just apply that all over the left side of my face. And finish of the blotting powder is a little bit more natural, and it's also very easy to build and to touch up with. So obviously there's no colour in it. There is colour in the pan, not that there's much left, but I don't know, it just looks more natural because it doesn't look powdery, which is why I like it so much, even though I do like my face to be set hard as stone. So this one is $50 and the Infallible is $20, I think. So that's really, really awesome for the price. I just find that you go through the Infallible faster because it is more powdery, like most drugstore products. I find that with a lot, like face powders and blush, contour, highlight, even eyeshadow. So I'm guessing you're paying for like the butteriness, which is really weird. And then what I also like to do with these powders is take a little on the sponge and blend it down a little, just to offer a tiny bit more coverage to the rest of my face if I need it. Okay, so now for bronzer, I have here the Australis bronzing powder in Sunkissed. It looks like this. And then I have the very, very old NARS Laguna. And this thing is still holding on. It's still holding on. So I'm going to take this. They are both very, very, very similar in colour, and also very, very similar once you apply them to the face. Oh, that looks so orange. Oh my god, I promise it's not. And then going in with the Australis bronzing powder. It is a tad bit darker in the pan, but I find once you apply it to the face, it's really not that bad. So this bronzer comes out at $14 and NARS Laguna is $58. And the packaging of this, although you do get more in Laguna, it is a massive pan, that thing. It does last a very, very long time because they are both, well, they're both very pigmented, but it's just, the packaging of like NARS, all of NARS's packaging looks incredible, but boy, it does not last long. Now this is the Makeup Geek Contour Pan in Breakup. This is $8 or $10, I believe. This is the old packaging at Kevin Aucoin Medium Sculpting Powder, and this is $68. So I'm going to be taking this on my Simple Glam Girls Oval Brush and carve out my cheekbones with that. This powder is extremely pigmented, and honestly so is the Makeup Geek one, but obviously with the Makeup Geek contour pans, it's just the pan. You don't get the you don't get a package with it. That is the only thing that, you know, sets me off a bit, but that's okay because it is so much cheaper, like insane. So the only thing with some of these products being a little cheaper, such as Makeup Geek and Colourpop and everything, is that you do have to pay for shipping, and that's kind of where it gets you. Okay, so now for blush, I have the BYS blush in Pretty in Pink. It looks like this. And then I have NARS Orgasm, which is what, like $48, and it looks like this. So the only difference is that Orgasm is a little more peachy. This one looks way pinker than it does on camera. Wow. And Orgasm has a little, it has gold flakes, and the BYS does not have the gold. I find that the BYS one is actually more pigmented as well, but NARS Orgasm is just the most beautiful colour. I do need to purchase a new one. As you can see, the packaging's getting a bit ratty, as it does. Now with highlighter, now honestly this is like the closest dupe I have in this whole video. I have here Mary Lou, and then the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. This is $65 and this is what, like $25, $30, which is incredible. I think that Mary Lou may be a little bit darker, but once it's on your face you really can't tell the difference. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna live up to you guys' expectations that Lance set for me last week on the highlighter game. Wow. Honestly, Mary Lou's a tiny bit more pigmented, but it also is a tad more chunky, which is okay in some cases, but some people have preferences. Not me, but you know. Okay, now for the eyes, I also have an incredibly close dupe. This is the Chi Chi Nudes palette, retails for about $28, and this is the original Naked palette. which is about 83, something crazy. So I'm going to go into this Chi palette and I'm going to use this colour here. And just taking that in my crease, and then once that's blended, taking it down onto my lid. And then in the Naked palette, that colour is called Naked, and I'm doing the same thing with that. Naked palette is a tiny bit more pigmented, I think. So from that Naked palette now, I'm going to take the shade Buck, the other matte brown, and I'm going to take that and deepen my crease. And then, so this palette is literally exactly the same set out as the Naked, so it will be this colour. I'm just going to switch over to a pencil brush. Okay, so now for the accent colour, I'm going to be using this shade here, Half Baked, the gold shade. I'm going to take that on my finger and apply it to the centre of my eyelid. And then the same with the Chi palette. I do find the gold in this is a little less pigmented, but that's okay because they're quite buildable. Okay, so now I'm just taking a tiny bit from each of those colours and applying it just a tad on the centre of my lower lash line. So now to kind of line my lower lash line, I'm going to take a shade here called Smog and apply that on my lower lash line all the way. And in the Chi palette, it will be this colour here. Okay, now to highlight, I'm going in with this shade right here, Virgin, and I'm going to take that on my brow bone and in my inner corner. I love how bright that shade is. And then the same with the Chi palette. So my camera just decided to stop recording again, so I just lined my waterline, and for the Drugstore side I used the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Pure Gold, which is around about $10, and then the high-end side I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duality Pencil with the golden side, and this pencil is about $43. So again, look exactly the same, except I reckon that the NYX one is a little more gold, but you really can't tell once you put it onto your waterline. Okay, so for mascara, the Drugstore side, I have the Rimmel Scandaleyes Rockin Curves, and for the high-end side, I have the little tiny mini Too Faced Better Than Sex, because I did want to try before I buy. So I'm going to chuck on the Too Faced one first. I really love this. I only just tried it yesterday, so I reckon I will be purchasing the full size very soon. Does a really good job of separating the lashes. And that mascara full size is about $32, and this one is around about $15. This one does apply a lot more product onto the lashes, which some people like, some people don't. Whatever's okay. I just got that on my eyelid, didn't I? Okay, so for brow pencils, I don't really have a dupe, like a proper dupe, because these are both quite drugstore. This one is 23, this one is 10. So it is kind of a dupe, but you are getting two products in one with this one. So anyways, I am going to just be using these two today. Honestly, because I don't feel the need to purchase a lot of high-end brow pencils because I don't really use them a lot. I do use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Perfect Brow Pencil, but that was not a colour dupe for these. So this is why I'm using these two, because they are very similar in colour. So I'm going to chuck the Revlon Brow Fantasy on the high-end side just because it is that tad bit more expensive. And then on the Drugstore side, the Rimmel Professional Eyebrow Pencil. And for brow gel, I also don't really have a dupe. They are both around the same price. However, I do find the Brow This Way in the tinted colours very similar to the Gimme Brow. I have used the Gimme Brow, but I don't own it because I don't really need the fibre thing. So I'm just going to chuck on the Brow This Way on the high-end side, even though these are both the same price. And then the Maybelline Brow Drama on the other side. I do really like the wand on this. It's like a little ball. Okay, this is honestly my favourite part because this is like another one of the close dupes that I have in this video. I have here the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in Avenue, which is around $10, but they do catch us Australians with the shipping, which is $15. And then the Jeffree Star Blue Liquid Lipstick in Unicorn Blood, which is my all-time favourite shade. I just find that the formula on the Jeffree Star ones are a little better than the Colourpop ones. The Colourpop ones are a little more drying, but regardless, they are both incredible, and the colour is very, very, very close. I think that the Unicorn Blood is slightly more brown, but you can only see once it's dried down, so let's go ahead. Okay, I just put the lipstick on the wrong side. Oh well, just ignore that. And sorry for the awful application, but you can just see that the Colourpop is slightly more red and less brown than Unicorn Blood. I did accidentally put them on the wrong side, so sorry about that. Let's just ignore that. But otherwise they are very, very, very close dupes, and honestly, after you pay shipping, they are nearly the same price anyway, so really go with whatever you like. So that, guys, is all of the dupes I have for you today. I did full half of my face in high-end and the other half in drugstore. Now, after calculating all of the prices for these things, the drugstore side calculates at about $190 if you buy every single product that I mentioned, around, I say estimate because I'm not good at maths, and then the high-end side is around $560. Now that is a huge difference when you take a look at it. I know we all love buying high-end things, but if you are on a budget or you just want to find some dupes for expensive things, I just gave you some, and I'll probably do more of these videos if you guys request them. It just takes me a while to find the dupes for everything and make sure they all look the same. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!